Expo to sweet Uncle Donny.
Oh, you like it, do ya?
It's fucking awesome,
That's
Donny.
right.
It must be fast as shit.
Oh, fuck yeah, this fucking boat's got more bars than the fucking Celtics locker room.
Yeah, but it must have cost you like 50 G's or something.
One might think that, but guess what? It didn't cost me jack shit.
What do you mean?
I stole it out of a winter storage parking lot.
No fucking way.
No, thank you. I changed the license and bingo. Here we are, sunny time.
Yeah.
What I gotta do to find a better way to make it through, there's gotta be a better way than living like this. I was waiting for a better way and waiting for a better day. I waited so long that I lost my faith. I was waiting, I was hating, I was pleading, I was bleeding, I was praying for something that never came. We prayed for something that never came. So bang, bang, and no more. Ah!
Jesus Christ.
Hello there, fellow dudes, damsels, dandies, and dashing dastards with a delirious demonic desire for deranged daring do like these two motherfuckers right here. Welcome to White Trash Rob's Nodcast. This week, a special guest, my brother from the Ducky Boys, another legend of hardcore punk, Mark Lind. Take a quick break, come back, see you in a second, guy.
Let's get the fuck out of me.
The sign in the road says we're going nowhere. Oh yeah! Oh no, let's go! Here she come now with the skyline. Through the river, Charles and Kenmore Square. There's another show, get in the van. To another time, we'll do it all over again. But I can't wait to get back home to the city streets where I come from. The dirty water of Boston, USA.
I was born and raised in Boston, a place you all know well. Brought up by honest parents, the truth to you I'll tell. Brought up by honest parents,
You said that already.
and raised most tenderly, till I became a sporting lad at the age of 23. My character was taken and I was sent to jail. My friends, they came and tried in vain to get me out on bail. The jury found me guilty, the clerk, he wrote it down. The judge, he passed the sentence. I was bound for Charlestown.
All right, that is Johnny McEvoy or Johnny McEvoy or Johnny McVoy or Johnny something. With the Boston Burglar, the first time Charlestown was mentioned in a song until Blood for Blood and the Ducky Boys came along. And of course, it's about a bank robbery and a guy going to jail. Welcome to White Trash Rob's Nodcast, a very special Charlestown episode I've been promising for a long time now. And with me, a fellow expert on the subject of Charlestown, my brother Mark. We both grew up there in the Michoacán projects, so we're going to talk about that shit.
I'm just saying, Ken Casey should cover that and have us come down and do guest vocals with him.
Yeah, give us a point on the album, Ken.
I was waiting for like the needle to rip off the record and have him go, "Boys on the dock."
I like it. I like it. Ken, let's do it. Let's do it. I need some fucking money. I've always been a stalwart supporter. Actually, like, all kidding aside, one of the people that I will forever be aware of owing something to is Kenny. He took Blood for Blood out on that Dropkick tour at a time when A, nobody was touching Blood for Blood. B, the few people that were touching Blood for Blood were trying to put us out on tour with like super dissonant death metal bands and a bunch of other bands that we just had nothing to fucking do with. And he took us at just the right time. I remember not being sure if we were going to go over on that tour. We were batting cleanup, the third band from the top, which used to be, I used to consider that the best time slot to play. You got your two openers, bat cleanup, then the co-headliner, then the headliner.
Yeah.
And so we were the start of the main ticket, then went Anti-Flag, and then went Dropkicks, and I was like, I wonder how we're going to go over with this. And our second show, we were playing College, Pennsylvania. No, that wasn't College, Pennsylvania. College, Pennsylvania was a different show that was interesting for other reasons. I forget what the second show was, but it was somewhere in upstate New York. 4,000 people, and our first song we played was Bitch Called Hope. And when it came to that bam, 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 a bitter, twisted motherfucker, I still wasn't sure. I was like, are we going to win over this crowd, blah, blah, blah. That night H2O was playing instead of Anti-Flag. 4,000 people went, din, 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 din. It looked like fucking Paradise City, dude. I was like, this is going to be a fun tour.
I saw you guys on the last night of that tour. Anti-Flag was gone by then, but it was...
They were gone by Texas. Yeah, that's right, that's right.
Oh, speaking of which, these are the 2 backstage passes I put online this week and said I was going to make Rob bid for on eBay. But I'm giving them back to him, and he said he doesn't even fucking want them. So, I don't know. You tell them what they were. They should go on eBay, I think.
As I've said before, I don't save trinkets like this. All the other guys in my bands would save stuff like this, airline tickets, laminates, posters, stuff like that. I don't save T-shirts. I don't save nothing like that. It's a combination of a aesthetic principle, and it's partly like what do you call it when like an athlete's got like habits, so bad luck.
Superstitious.
A superstition thing, because I feel like as soon as you start looking to the past and start cataloging, this is what I did, you're not going to do nothing else. You've already put a stamp on it. So, anybody wants these? This is from Blood for Blood with Sick of It All in Europe, and this is from Blood for Blood with Slapshot. Duh, it says Slapshot on it. And this is from Blood for Blood with Sick of It All, and it says the Serenity Tour, which is news to me because yes, Serenity was out around that time. Yes, we did tour with Sick of It All on this tour and play these dates, but we didn't play shit from the Serenity album.
You wrote that album over the fucking phone, didn't you?
No, I some of it with Neil. That was when we were working with Neil, but some of the Kill a Celebrity was written over the phone. I would just call Neil up and give him like, this is the beats per minute, here's the parts, you can do whatever fill you want here, but the kick pattern's got to be this, this, and this, and he would do it. He would just write it down.
There's some of the best material on Serenity. I like the song Serenity, and I really like the Karuba song.
Oh yeah, I love that song. We never got I would have played that one out.
And the other one being the hardcore song, where it's in like the liner notes, it says...
Oh yeah, it's like... Jesus Christ. So these are available if anybody wants them. I don't know if I'll actually sell them, but start your bidding. See what happens. I am a whore. I'm not... No, I don't know.
No, you're really not.
No, I just got offered $20,000 to do a Blood for Blood show, and I turned it down. I will not be bought, but I will sell trinkets because I don't give a fuck about them. I just won't be... I won't co-opt my values. So, my brother and I are here to talk about Charlestown. The present darling of Hollywood, the present epicenter of a giant Hollywood circle jerk Irish Gangster Revival, with people talking like, go on, Johnny, eat your supper, and sticking guns in armored car guys' faces, and they're doing it for hip, sexy reasons, to a hip, sexy soundtrack with hip, sexy people. He and I can attest that there's not many sexy people in Charlestown. There may be a bunch of hip ones, but not sexy.
No, none.
Charlestown is the closest. And listen, to all my townie brethren out there, this is the equivalent of family talking about family, okay? You're allowed to talk about your own fucking family, you know, but you don't stand by and let somebody else talk about your family. Charlestown's our family. We're fucking from the town. We're townies, lifelong, born there. So we can talk shit. And so can anybody else, but, you know, I mean, it's a free country. But I just don't want any of my townie friends jumping me the next time I go to the clinic to see Dr. Eisenberg. We're talking about the reality of Charlestown versus the movies. Did you see any of those movies?
Yeah, I think I have to disagree with you on it being the current epicenter. 'Cause I think
Well,
it was a
maybe
few years
past.
ago. Yeah.
I'm not up on the times.
Yeah, I've seen The Town. I've seen Mystic River. The Departed.
Gone Baby Gone.
Yep. Yeah, I like them.
I thought they were good movies. But let me tell you something. He and I grew up with the sons of, and we'll bleep out any names. We're not trying to get anybody in any trouble, and we're certainly not trying to get ourselves in trouble. But we grew up with the sons of the so-called head of the Code of Silence crew. I hung with one of the sons of that man, and he hung with another son. We were best friends with them. We were always down that house and stuff like that. And he didn't look like Ben Affleck. I can tell you that. He didn't dress like Ben Affleck either. He was a big, scary man that wore sweatpants and a wife beater. He had a big shock of messed up hair, and he was just a scary fucking dude. He was a wicked good guy to us. I mean, he was always nice to us. But he didn't look like one of these Hollywood archetypes. What were you going to say?
I want to make sure that I'm following you on which guy we're talking about. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll bleep that out. But
As soon as I watched that movie, I'm like, this is clearly about that family.
yeah, for sure. And the reality of the home life there wasn't what it looked like either. But I thought some of the movies were interesting in their own right. But the only one, again, it's just Hollywood showing you a hip story, and everything's tied up in a nice narrative bow. And you know, you and I both know that for 50 years, Charlestown's been associated mostly with armed robbery. That's like its biggest thing, and they all go unsolved, as do the murder. It had one of the highest, until relatively recently, it still had one of the highest unsolved murder rates per capita. It's a tiny town. Charlestown's only about 1 square mile. It's only got about 60 to 80,000 people in it total, if even that much. But per capita, it has one of the highest unsolved murder rates in like American history up to date. And go ahead and fact find this. I'm sure you're going to find other areas that are worse or something like that. But Charlestown was just notorious for this.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's not like you're sitting here saying that you're in one of the 6th member of NWA or something like that. It's just that that's the way it was. It wasn't like there was a threat of getting shot every time you're walking down the street. It's just that when people were getting shot, they weren't getting solved.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, absolutely. And they talked about like the cops had kind of said when they busted this man that we used to hang with the sons of. The cops claimed, okay, Code of Silence is over in Charlestown. That's fucking bullshit. That had nothing to do with those guys. Yes, nobody was willing to rat on those guys, and rightly so, because what did their enforcer used to say? He used to say, Tylenol. He used to say, and people would say, well, why use Tylenol? He said, because I get rid of his headaches. He was awesome. He was the enforcer. That was one of his jokes. Yeah, those guys would kill you if you ratted on them, but there were nobody ratted on anybody in Charlestown. It was a cultural ethic. For anything, even if there was no threat of retaliation, even if there was even they wouldn't even, if somebody ran a red light, nobody would help out the cops. It was just like something that was inbred. Not inbred as in like
Inbred.
Yeah, it was something ingrained. It was ingrained. To this day, for all of my sins and transgressions, one of the things that I'm still proud of is I'm not a rat. Like, for all of the trouble I've gotten in and stuff like that, and I still hold that like as like an important thing. A guy doesn't rat. Now, there's exceptions for me personally. Like, if a child's well-being is involved, I would rat on somebody molesting a kid in a second, or I'd hurt them. Burn them out of the house or whatever. Maybe if a woman was getting beat. Well, no, I might just, if I thought it was, I guess, I probably wouldn't call the cops. I'd probably say, what the fuck's going on, maybe.
Anonymous called it. I don't know.
Yeah, if I was with my friends, I'd definitely just say, what's going on over here? But that's a tough one. But the movies package all of these cursory cosmetic elements of the Charlestown experience, and they package it as usual, a Hollywood movie, in an entertaining sort of way. But none of them have got it right as far as the core experience. One of them came close. It was Mystic River, because of the moral of the story. At the end of Mystic River, the only person that's damned out of all of those different actors is the woman that ratted out her husband. Remember the last scene where they're all coming out of their houses and she's looking to everybody and they're all turning their back on her? Now, nothing just happened in that movie. Penn's character killed her husband for the wrong reason, but they're going on with their lives. They're all happy. They're hugging each other, blah, blah, blah. All the, I forget the other characters' names and the actors, but everybody but her. And the moral of that was, you do right by your own people first. Notions like justice, esoteric, abstract notions like justice, they're not important. She ratted out her husband because she truly thought he killed the kid.
Yeah.
Everybody else did right by their people around them first. She was the only one damned. That's the closest I've seen to capturing the overall mentality of Charlestown.
I turned that movie off when it gets to that part where he says, when was the last time you saw him? He said, they go out in the middle of the street. He's like, the last time I saw him was, we were 12 years old, and he points down the street where the car was driving. I hate the fucking monologue that the wife goes on after that.
What does she say?
Well, it's not, I didn't read the book, so I don't know if it's in the book or not, but she basically, because the viewer wouldn't understand what's going on, she has to verbalize everything about him being a new gangster in town. And it just, her Boston accent was so fucking bad that she was the only one with a bad Boston accent in that movie. It was the worst one. And she goes on a monologue so it tells everybody else what's going on, and then it cuts to that scene you're talking about.
Okay.
But I just can't suffer that fucking monologue.
Oh yeah, well, we'll get to bad Boston accents at some point. We've done actually a couple of podcasts just about that. But that one at least comes close because that was like, it expressed the value system of your own before the establishment, before society, before anybody else. Your own is what matters first. And everybody else, even though they all did some level of evil in that, they go on to live happily ever after by the Hollywood movie because they did right by their own. That is a fucking Charlestown ethos. But again, the movie's still sensational. Lehane, he's not actually from Charlestown, is he? He's just from Boston?
I don't know where. I think he might be from like Roslindale or something, or West Roxbury. He lived in Charlestown. He rented, the company I work for, one of the executives owns a place, and he was renting it. So he was living in Charlestown, but I think he was living there for the purposes of writing.
Oh, okay. Come forward a little. Your voice is a little low. I just don't want to lose anything. The one thing I wanted to run by you, see if you agree with me on this. This is the core of what I wanted to get at about my experience with Charlestown, having grown up there and shit. There's a theory in entomology, okay? Those eggheads that study insects. The study of insects is called entomology. There's an idea that some entomologists subscribe to. It's not wildly popular, but there's an idea that ant colonies and like beehives, wasps' nests, and stuff like that, they show no interest in self. They act only for the group. There's an idea that these colonies are actually not, they should be qualified as super organisms, like they're actually one big giant collective entity. Now they certainly behave collectively, we know that, but there's some guys that are trying to put forth this theory that they're the first instance of super organisms. That's Charlestown to me. Charlestown, the thing that all the movies miss by a little or a lot. Some come closer than others. Like I said, Mystic River came a little bit close with that ending, that ending with the collective value system being reaffirmed. Charlestown is a fucking hive mind.
Or it was.
It was, and that's true. There's so many newcomers. It's been diluted by influx of different people. But
things even changed between like 1985 and 1995. So it's clearly 20 years out from then, even. So
yeah, I keep forgetting this is our childhood, but this was 30 years ago.
So
yeah,
this is what we're really talking about. I think is the Charlestown of the, with the exception of some experiences when we were older.
70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah, definitely the 80s. We weren't there. I wasn't there for the 70s. I don't remember it. But
yeah, we were there for the 80s and the 90s, and the Yuppies were gentrifying the town at this point. I still think that's why we got burned out of our house.
Probably
was because Nana wouldn't sell to the influx, to the new Charlestown Order. Our house was firebombed in 1992. 1991, burned to the ground. The only reason my whole family's alive is because I, like a lunatic on a school night, happened to be up at 3:30 in the morning reading William Peter Blatty's Legion, and I heard the Molotov come through our front window. And I got up to investigate and got our family out.
Oh yeah, we'd be dead.
Yeah, we were all, everyone else was dead asleep. I fucking literally Jimmy snooked you on the bed. I fucking jumped and snooked you. He said, get up, shaking the bed. You were up. Ma was already coming out of the room. I was like, grab Patty, get the fuck out of there. And I figured Nana and Bumpy were dead because the first floor was already an inferno at that point.
When we climbed up the fence to get out, I could see down the alleyway. There were alleyways between the two houses.
The buildings.
For the purposes of fire.
Yeah, yeah.
But when I was on top of the fence, I looked over to my right, out to the street, and the flames come out of Bumpy's window. His bedroom window were like fucking 10 feet high in the air.
For sure. Oh no, the first 2 floors burned down to the point where the wood frame, you could see through it to the street outside. That thing burned like a candle. Our house, our apartment, everything was ruined, not from burn, but from 3 inches of soot. But that was because of the Yuppies. Not them directly, but the pressure to get prime real estate sold. My grandmother owned that house. She wouldn't sell. And all of a sudden we get burned out. I wonder what the fuck happened. But no, back to the Hive Mind. And it's, I say this jokingly, but Charlestown had a collective mindset that Berlin 1933 Germany wishes it could aspire to. I could give you so many fucking examples. Like, I'll give you one. It's like a funny one. We used to play this, and I may have to stop in a second. I'm just going to check the time. Hold on. Hang on to your seats. Whoop. All right, we got 8 minutes before it breaks and does another thing. That's fine. And back we go. Did you throw up? It's like handy cam, like Star Wars. I'll give you like a fucking example. It's a flippant one and a little one, but we used to play this schoolyard game called Illyrio. Do you remember Illyrio?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, caught by me, Illyrio caught. What you do is everybody in the schoolyard would line up against one side of the schoolyard, and one person that was it would stand in the middle and yell, Illyrio, go! And everybody would run. And you'd grab as many people as you could and make them it with you. And to make them it, you had to hold on to them long enough to say, 1, 2, 3, caught by me, Illyrio, caught. Sounds like a fun little game of youth and childhood. It, of course, turned into Thunderdome-esque, tooth and claw survival of the cruelest. Oh, and cruelty is another defining characteristic of Charlestown. Not cruelty in and of itself, but cruelty if you stepped outside of the hive mind. And we'll get there. If you stepped outside of the collective in any way, and I mean dress code, music you listened to, the way you talked, the way you thought, the comics you read, you were going to be treated cruelly. We'll get to that, but we're playing Illyrio one day.
So true.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. We're playing Illyrio, and I'll beep his name out. He was kind of a bit of a pariah. He was ranked on, he was adopted, and he was kind of ranked on and stuff like that. He was also, his family had a little bit of money. That's, of course, always resented in Charlestown. He was a little bit of an outsider. Like, he got ranked on a lot. He got, like, his balls broken a lot. He was it one day. No, he wasn't it one day. Excuse me. He wasn't it. We were playing Illyrio. And one of the guys I alluded to earlier, one of the sons of the quote-unquote Code of Silence guy, one of my best friend, when you tried to catch him in Illyrio and reached for him while he was running, he would swing, poke, fucking knee, bite, everything. You could not get your hands on him. He would flip out and start going like this, fucking claw in your eyes and everything.
Big.
And he was big. He was like 6'2".
In 6th grade.
In 6th grade. So trying to lay your hands on was a fucking tall order. You were going to get like a scar down your face. He would punch and claw and kick and everything else. Well, for some reason, used to try to kind of be like him. He would kind of like BS him. Remember that term?
Yeah, yep.
Fucking BS, you fucking ball sucker guy.
Wow.
Yeah, that takes me back.
Wicked slurp.
Yeah, fucking Papa Slurp. Who did they used to call that? Papa Slurp? They used to call it
I think so,
Papa
yeah.
Slurp.
Yeah.
If you like kissed up to a teacher or whatever, the whole class, in front of the teacher, would go like... That meant ball suck. You're BSing him. You were ball sucking him. So used to BS. So somebody was trying to catch him in Illyrio, and he's doing the swing punch thing. He's not as good as it is. Much more violent. But while he was doing this, he wasn't looking. There were these, from the fence at the schoolyard, there were these struts that stuck out to hold it up, and they really stuck out. They stuck out like 3 feet at an angle, and they were steel. Wrought iron. So while he's running backwards and swinging like this, he catches his foot on the strut, and his arm goes out and sticks into the fence while he falls and tumbles. He stands up with his arm bent like sideways in front of all of us, and we're all just standing there like, stands up with his arm, and he looks at all of us in horror while his arm's bent like over here and goes, I can't feel my arm. I can't feel my arm. Ow! Ow! And he's looking us in the eyeballs in terror, screaming, ow, while his arm's bent to the fucking left all the way. I mean, it broke his fucking forearm like a spaghetti string. So all the lunch mothers come bustling over and they usher him into the schoolyard. We're all still out in the schoolyard because this is a big deal. Like, he's really hurt. Like, this isn't like a little injury. This is a big one. So 10 minutes later, this is where the hive mind comes into play. I'm out there with everybody, all my friends. You were there for this?
I don't remember it.
Okay, you were in second grade, so you weren't even out in the yard yet at this point. This was the later grades, I think, out. You might have still been in with Sister Mary Martin, that tyrant.
Fucking horror.
Yeah, I'm still scared of her, even if she's not alive. But yeah, you might not have been there, but nobody tells me anything. Okay, no word went around like we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. The ambulance gets there 10 minutes later, and as they're loading, the ambulance guys got him strapped to a gurney with the wheels. They're carrying him out, the two ambulance guys. He's strapped to it, and he's like this, like in shock. The entire crowd, without any discussion about this, is chanting, "Owwoogah, Owwoogah, Owwoogah, Owwoogah." Everyone. The guys carrying the gurney was going, "Owwoogah, Owwoogah." The lunch mothers were like, "Owwoogah." The nun over watching us, "Owwoogah, Owwoogah." Father Mahoney on the way by in his car has got his head out the window, "Owwoogah, Owwoogah."
What was that, a spin-off of the thing he was screaming?
Yes. That became his nickname after that. For the next 7 years, his nickname was Owwoogah. Yeah, go, I was up the schoolyard hanging with Owwoogah. But the thing is, nobody discussed this. Did this get communicated via pheromone? I didn't get the memo on this. I did it too. Owwoogah, Owwoogah. But I was like, why did we decide to do this? Like, it happened like that. Fucking hive mind.
Dude, do you remember when that kid got mugged at gunpoint? When apparently he pissed himself? So, like, overnight, everybody talked about
Paul?
Fair as being Murray. Like, wicked Murray got spread.
That's where that came from?
Yeah, you showed and it was all about because that kid pissed himself when a gun was pulled on him, which I would have pissed myself too.
That's where that came from?
Yeah.
I remember saying that.
They'd all be like, much
Yeah. Like if somebody, like I remember playing schoolyard baseball,
yeah.
and if somebody flinched too hard and you threw a pitch at it, you're fucking. That's where that came from?
Yeah, it was like overnight. Everybody just, that was like the word that everybody used. Everyone just knew it.
I should have figured there was a story behind it.
Much everybody at once.
And it went down to fashion stuff too. I don't know how much time we got. We'll try to squeeze. Well, if it leaps, it leaps. Do you remember the day that the dress code was mandatory in Charlestown? You wore fucking Jabro compliments. You wore a fucking champion sweatshirt. You wore a Kangol hat. You were allowed to wear the shoes changed month to month.
Yeah.
But
Gazelles
were always all right. Reebok was hot when I was in 4th grade, but then it was a no-no like a year later. I don't know who decides these things. Is it like a committee?
I don't know. What qualified them as Bobos?
Yeah, that was the other thing. Bad sneakers. Wicked fucking Bobos guy. Didn't matter if you spent $200 on them. If they weren't the brand that was in flavor at the moment. And kids would get fucking ranked on about this. You know what used to bug me was everyone used to rank on because he got his older brother's hand-me-downs. He would wear his older brother's clothes, so they were out of style. He would get ranked on this.
There were fucking 12 of them.
There were 12 of them, but you know what, though? They owned their own fucking house. All these people that were ranking on him for his clothes, they were living in the projects. I used to want to tell them, like, he owns his own fucking, his family owns their own house. You could get kicked out fucking tomorrow, and who cares if you got a fucking polo jacket? You live in fucking Newtown, for Christ's sakes. You're living off government cheese. Who cares if you got a fucking CB jacket? But that's the way Charlestown was, and I remember the day that fucking tube socks went out of style.
3-stripe of Vipers.
3-stripe of Vipers. Pull your socks down. Why? You're turning green, because they'd say they were up to your neck.
Yeah.
Why not just wear pants?
Dude, I was saying to you earlier, there's look, I still have white socks with the black sneakers. Nobody wears white socks anymore. I will not fucking budge.
I can't, because I'm afraid if I go to Charlestown, I'll get ranked on.
Yeah.
When I reach for socks, I'm like, do they go past my ankle? All right, cool, I can wear them.
Somebody pointed out to me once that I was wearing white socks. I was like, yeah. And they're like, nobody wears white socks. Like, what the fuck's wrong with all of you?
Yeah, I wanted to be like, I'm not the fool. I'm not the one on trial. You're the one on trial. Yeah, seriously. Like, and I remember the day that it happened. I went up to schoolyard and Tim was like, nice fucking tube socks. You're turning fucking green. Push your fucking shorts down. I mean, push your fucking socks down. Why not just wear pants? It all came out at once. And I'm like, all right, maybe it's
Nice
just
monkey
him.
sideburns.
Yeah. I'm like, maybe it's just him. I go up the street and I run into the top of fucking top of fucking Hill Street. I'm like 30 feet away and he's like, everybody tube Aruba. I'm like, I didn't get the memo. I had to go home and change my socks. I'm like, I didn't know this.
Change your socks, you had to like purge them.
Yeah, I had to burn them.
We weren't exactly fucking rolling in the dough, so we were.
No.
It was like a death. We had to like beg Ma, like, get the fucking socks. We
Yeah,
don't
get
ranked
rid
on
of
them."
the three stripers. We can't wear them. Look at the bruises. Like, pull up your shirt. Like, they're beating on us out there. I'll give you another hive mind real quick, and it involves the clothes and the pants. Poor fucking one day I wore a pair of fucking sweatpants to fucking school. They were one of his older brothers, and they were from the 70s. This is like the mid-80s. 70s clothes, never mind in Charlestown. 70s clothes universally across the globe went out of style as possible.
Yeah.
So never mind in Charlestown. Like, you might as well dress like a woman as wear 70s clothes in 1985 Charlestown. He went into school with these really big, billowy sweatpants that had 3 stripes down the side. They were hideous. They looked like something that one of the Dukes of Hazzards would wear, or something like that. Like, they were polyester. They were fucking really hideous. Colors, like, utterly unnatural in this world. And they said down the sides, breaking up the stripes, sweat by E.B. Like, that must have been the company, like, sweat by E.B.'s. So he became known as E.B.'s. And anywhere he went, E.B.'s. He only wore the pants once. It's not like he wore them for 3 years. He wore them once, but E.B.'s. Lunch ladies, E.B.'s. Fucking
how
cops,
quick somebody
E.B.'s. What?
Somebody could fall from grace very quickly.
Yes, and it was hard to come back, man.
Big time.
It was hard to come back.
remember when,
Well, hold on, I gotta finish the
okay,
story
go
about fucking E.B.'s. I'm standing with. He'd walked down to his. We were standing in front of his door after school one day, and a bunch of Charlestown guys were coming down Bunker, and they started to cross the top of the streets. They're crossing Bunker, so we're at Pearl Street, and I'm like, all right, they didn't get a chance to see. They probably won't rank on him. They didn't get a chance to see him. They couldn't plan anything or whatever. They couldn't. We were just there. All they're doing is crossing the street. Like, they didn't know we were there.
Yeah.
They're not looking at us. Right before they pass out of sight, and it was course, all of them go, E.B.'s, and point sideways. Like, together, like the Marine Corps, like, E.B.'s. They weren't even looking at us. They didn't know we were there.
But this is how fast they acted. I don't know if you remember when. Do you remember on Holy Week as an altar server?
I remember when karate shot me in the neck when I was running down to tell everybody Father Mahoney was coming.
Pinhead's coming!
Pinhead's coming! Oh! I fucking like coughed up a kiwi fruit ball of fresh.
It's funny you mentioned.
He
He's the
fucking
guy
was
that
like,
did this.
karate shot me while I was running.
All the altar servers had to serve for Holy Week.
Oh,
And it was a big-
or lest you be outcast.
Oh my God! And there was like 100 of us.
Yeah.
And was there was a guy that played the organ that didn't. He had a hearing aid.
Yeah.
Runs down. He said, "Listen, this is how fast he went. It's like, whatever his name is coming. His hearing aid's shitting out on him. Nobody make a fucking word. Everybody move your mouth like
Yeah.
you're talking." So
Yep.
everybody's doing this, and he comes in and he starts talking to him, and he's making no noise, and the guy's like touching his.
Yeah.
That's how fast they reacted.
That at least is, that time at least there was evidence that there was some communication about
I
it.
have to
though.
imagine there always was, but we just weren't always.
Maybe we weren't in the loop.
I don't know.
Maybe we weren't. Oh, that kind of
But
hurts.
he didn't communicate it in a way that was like, "This is what we're gonna do." It was like a 1, 2, 3, and just everybody did it.
Yeah.
It was fucking weird.
Ah, see, all right. So maybe there was some kind of committee and but those are my instances of fucking hive mind. Like, this was not something that was discussed. Everybody just fucking did it. I remember the time he lost the football over the side of fucking Annie Goat Hill from the schoolyard, the football. They sent him over. Nobody talked about it. Everybody in the school ran over while he went to get the football and hucked lungies on him. I looked over and Sister Mary Martin was like hanging fucking lungies on him. He was covered in spit, and he came up and he immediately, he used to rat out to the teacher. He went to the teacher, and the teacher was like, tough shit. Like, because she was over there hanging lungies on him too. But we didn't talk about this. It just happened. It was fucking crazy. That's what they missed, the hive mind. There was a oneness of Ein Reich, Ein Volk, Ein Führer in fucking Charlestown that I've never seen nowhere else. I'm telling you, whatever it is, the Nazis wish they had it so they could fucking bottle it and put it in the fucking water.
They still do it too, because I see some of the kids we grew up with on Facebook and shit, and they just immediately pile on each other. It's actually pretty fucking funny.
Well, fucking Buddha picked me up one day. Mission was because I was just staying at Mars because it was close to Logan Airport to fly to go tour with Sick of It All. Now at this point, I'm fucking touring the world with a band. I've left Charlestown in the fucking dust, and we stopped at Store 24. I'm going to play in front of 15,000 people a fucking night in Europe with something I created out of nothing. I'm pretty cool. And I get out of the car to go get at Store 24 in Charlestown, and some girl's like, nice Chelsea cuffs. Because I was wearing like pants, and they were like, they were kind of belled out. And I was so outraged. I was like sputtering. What I wanted to say was, yeah, and you'll be here popping out fucking welfare babies 5 years after I'm fucking gone. I'm on my way to be a but I was just like, fuck you. And the other part of me was like, we're still mad about Chelsea cuffs? That was from 1985. Who remembers that?
Do you remember the shit they gave when he moved to Charlestown? Nobody could understand. They were like, there's this new kid. It was first day of 6th grade. There was a new kid. We all look and see who he is. And they're like, he's Italian.
Yeah.
Like he was from Mars.
Yes. I mean, admittedly was really Italian. Like he was like a Goomba. Like he even talked like a.
Well, he was from the North End.
He's from the North End, but he talked like a Guinea and like.
He was a stereotypical Italian, as we all were stereotypical.
Yes. So he was a novelty. He hung around us.
Yeah, but at first he was like a monkey in the zoo.
Well, we were wicked hard on him.
Yeah.
We were wicked hard on him, but we did. He was our friend. He hung with us, but
But
yeah.
other kids around town gave him such shit.
The only thing about was, first of all, he was so wild with like telling teachers to fuck off and shit that he kind of earned the respect. Like he would do crazy shit, and then the other thing too was, in 4th grade, that dude had body hair and muscles.
Yeah.
Like he didn't fight, and he wasn't like super tough, but if he did decide to wrestle with you or something, it hurt.
Do you remember when we worked at Bingo and he was 14 and he was banging that 21-year-old?
Yeah.
She thought he was like the same age.
Yeah, I do.
They had to pretend like I was like his best friend, but they had to pretend I was like his best friend's little brother or something like that.
Oh yeah, because you guys were like hanging around at that point.
Yeah, and I
so.
looked like I was 14.
Yeah, it was gonna blow his fuck.
Yeah.
I also remember he had that fucking Buick Regal that he used to drive around with no insurance. He was 13. He just had his own car. He would just like drive it around. You'd see like no license, no fucking insurance. Nobody knows where he got this thing. He just had this fucking Buick Regal that he drove around. That was like that's like the shit that happens in the backwoods of Maine. Nobody stopped him. He just had a car. And nobody pulled him over because he looked like he was like 27.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy fucking times. Well,
What a weird place.
you see where the time is on this? Hold on.
Take on a leak.
All right, one way or the other. All right, we went into the next video. That's okay though.
So what does it do? Make a skip?
It does. Nothing will happen. It'll just be in 2 files. We're gonna take a quick break. We may come back and continue, or we may come back and wrap it up. But that was at least part 1 of White Trash Rob and Mark Ducky's The Real Charlestown Experience. Oh, you don't like that word?
I hate it.
Okay, what do you prefer, Mark Lind? Just Mark?
Mark.
My brother Mark, from the Ducky Boys, Dirty Water, and the Warning Shots, Mark and the Unloved, and Sinners and Saints, and your host, White Trash Rob, doing the Charlestown episode, The Reality of Charlestown, from 2 guys that lived it. See you in a second, guy. And the light is blinking. All right, welcome back to White Trash Rob's Nodcast with my special guest, my brother Mark from the Ducky Boys, the Warning Shots, Dirty Water, and Sinners and Saints. We just did part 1 of what will hopefully be a recurring series or segment, because we could still talk about a lot more. The reality of Charlestown, the Charlestown reality, aka the Hive Mind, aka the Super Organism, aka reality versus Hollywood. We hope you enjoy it. So that's about it. Tune in next week. Oh, a couple of things I just wanted to say, because this one will likely be coming out this week. To the poster named Bridget Anderson. That's your name on YouTube. I got your message. I hope shit works out with your job. All my best to you and your family. I just want to let you know, I said it one other time, you're one of a small handful of people whose messages just, I can't interact with them. I can't they don't stay. They keep disappearing from the feed and stuff like that. There's just some kind of glitch going on. So I just wanted to let you know. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to update. That's about it. I'm glad we got this done. I've been dying to have Mark on for a long time. And we're going to do some more video soon. Some top 10 lists, talk about some music, maybe do another Charlestown segment. We shall see. Who knows? I don't. See you soon, guy. See you later, guy.